Welcome back to the channel, and before we kick off our regularly scheduled chunking, I just wanted to show off what I've been doing in the background for the last few days. After finishing Desert Treasure 2 a few weeks back, I kind of abandoned the main in favour of playing this account, but after realising how few quests I had left to do, I knew I had to just sort of send it and get myself the quest cave. This is honestly a bit of a dream come true for me, knowing outside of endgame PVM content, I've taken on some of the hardest challenges old school has to throw at me. This moment was celebrated by myself, my fiancée, and a few members of the clan who were still online at 1:30 in the morning, and I want to thank them all for coming along to get this with me. Of course, we had to travel one chunk over to see a familiar face too. Now, I'm going to go do as I'm told and get back to Chunk-A-Dor. Roll the intro. This is Chunk-A-Dor, my semi-extreme one-chunk account. My mission? To unlock Gillinor one chunk at a time. Hello everybody and welcome back to the South Falador farm where we planted our potatoes last episode, and we're going to go dig them up now, and we might as well replant them because these farming levels are going to be very useful coming in the future. And there's level 3 farming off the bat, lovely way to kick off the video. And there we go, we're up to level 4 farming now, and we've got all the potatoes we need for this. Let's head over here and we will grab a few raw beef. Before we head back into Falador to make our stew, let's talk to Sarah, because that is an easy task in the Falador area. Let's see what she will sell us. So we're going to get some cash out of the bank and we're going to head over to the general store. Grab ourselves a bowl. And if we fill that with water, there we go. And there is a range just in the castle, so we can pop in there. Let's cook our meat. We will use that on the bowl of water. And use a potato as well. Get an uncooked stew. And we've burnt it, fantastic. Okay, take 2. Let's head back over here, try and cook this one. And we've burnt it again. Brilliant, okay. Knew I should have brought more than one bowl. Okay, so let's try this one more time. We've got 3 uncooked stews now. Hey, there's one. So we finally cooked a stew, and that will heal 11 hit points, which is fantastic. But that is also our chunk task completed. So we've only got one more left to do, and then we can get on with rolling a chunk. So here we are back in the chunk picker. Let's tick all of these off. That is 4 out of 4 chunk tasks completed. And without further ado, let's pick a chunk. We're hoping for number 6 so we can get to Cathby. Or we're hoping for, realistically, number 1, because it would be quite good to get to Camdoza. Or start working our way towards Edgeville. Why can I roll that one? Let's take that off. There we go. Let's pick a chunk. What's it gonna be? Valador North Gate. Okay, so that's quite good because that gives us better access to Tavley Dungeon. And do we have any tasks we can do? We should be able to do Doric's quest, I imagine. Yeah, step 1 of Doric's quest, although if I'm being honest, I might have what I need in the bank to actually finish the quest. I'll take a look and find out. But that will, if we can finish that, give us access to an anvil. So here we are at the border of our new chunk, and let's just get that unlocked straight away. And all we need to do in this chunk is head over and talk to my mate Doric, the dwarf, and ask him to use his anvil. But he's going to tell us we need to bring him some materials for the use of it. That's all we can do for now, so that's a chunk task complete, and another chunk roll incoming. So now we've finished that, let's tick that off and get on with rolling another chunk. Is it gonna be... Ooh, Port Sarim, okay. That is interesting. What does that give us access to? So 35 cooking to bake a plain pizza. Obtain a blue wizard hat. I know we've already got one of those in the bank. Pirate's treasure step 1 and get an adamant battle axe. Okay, let's get back into the game and get started on those. So here we are heading into Port Sarim, and we now have access to a rune shop, which is going to be huge for magic training. Let's pick up our adamant battle axe straight away and get a chunk test completed, nice and easy. We've got a jewellery shop over here, so getting hold of some cosmic runes to enchant these could be nice. Some good damage boosts for us there. We've got a fishing shop here, so we can get ourselves some nice gear for when we unlock a fishing spot as well. That's pretty sweet, and it looks like we've got a few different boats we can board, including the pest control boat, which is kind of cool. Let's also get started on the Pirate's Treasure quest while we're here, ticking off another task right off the bat. Right now, I think the most useful thing we're going to be able to find though is this food shop just in the very south of our chunk. Let's just set that to buy 5 for that. And we can buy both the pots of flour and the potatoes, which will supplement our farming a little bit. And if we just hop worlds here, and then head back to the bank with all of this, we should be able to bank a decent amount of cooking XP, which is going to get us a lot closer to that 35, was it, for the plain pizza? Because we're going to need to cook quite a lot, and then obviously we've got a lot of food banked as well if we do get like a PVM grind or something of that effect. So since the last clip, I have got myself up to 10 farming. Literally just been standing, growing spuds over there, and killing cows here to get my cooking level up. We're up to 33, so we're not far off of our goal. And in the sort of the times when I can't be bothered killing cows, I've just been running back and forth to Port Sarim. There's a food shop just at the bottom of our chunk, just here, and that will let us buy pots of flour. He stocks 3 of those, and potatoes, which we can use to make our stew. But more importantly, I found something very nice about this chunk. We can pet the dog. How adorable. So let's get back into Valador, and I'm going to turn all of this into bread dough and turn all of my spuds into stews. We have quite a few of them in the bank now. They're going to be really useful in the future if we do unlock another PVM grind, because they heal for I think 11 hit points. So it's going to be really nice to not have to sort of spam eat 5 foods to be able to get a decent amount of health back, and that'll definitely make our trips a lot longer. We are starting to look a little bit strapped for GP though, so I might have to come back and pickpocket from these guards. But I'm not sure how successful we're going to be because I haven't really trained thieving since episode 1. That has kind of, well, I literally haven't trained at all since then, because what's the point really? haven't had a chunk task for it, and we haven't really been struggling for GP up until now. But I would like to get a little bit of cash back, so I think once we have finished all of these chunk goals and rolled a new chunk, unless there's something that's going to make me GP, we might go and do a little tiny bit of thieving. Because I'm thinking if we thieve from the guards at the south gate, we can kill imps in between, and we can then use the clay, if we get any from them, to go and repair Doric's anvil. Yeah, future me here, we're not doing that. This is my method for making the dough. We've just been filling up the buckets here, and turn that into bread dough. And then obviously we're going to need this to make our pizza dough as well when we get to 35. Let's just quickly finish these off. So this is all of our stews that we've got the materials for right now. So we're left with one incomplete stew in the bank, but that's not too bad. Put that back in the food tab. I don't think this leaves a placeholder, which is why it jumped back up there. But we'll also take all of our bread dough. And if we've got anything else we can cook, doesn't look like it. So we'll head up to the castle. And we'll get this in the oven. Let's get the stew cooked first of all, or attempt to anyway. And there's our second to last level coming in. And we only need about 2000 XP, and obviously we're getting, now I've said that, we're burning every single stew. So we'll empty those out, and let's get the bread dough cooked. And we've only burnt, one of those bread, so let's just drop that, leave it behind as a nice little present for the knights. And as soon as we get back to the bank, we will drop all this off. I think we'll just get the rest of this level from cows again. Then I can keep an eye on my potatoes. Because as much as we don't need to cook past 35, it would still be nice to have some in the bank. And I think farm runs are not a bad idea right now. Because in the future, we've got 52 stews there, and if that's 11 hit points each, that's like 570 odd hit points that we can restore from that, and with a max of 40, that's a lot of inventory's worth, a lot of damage worth. So we'll just get our farming tools back out. I'm only taking one compost with me at the minute because we've got some in the bunker there. So we'll be able to refill that. It saves a bit of inventory space. Haven't bothered putting any armor on because that seems a bit pointless when we're only killing cows. They're not really hurting me. We'll just do a quick welfare check on the potatoes. Yeah, they're all still alive. Lovely. Give them a quick water. But yeah, we'll do an inventory of cows. We did get some clue scrolls from these guys, but none of them we could complete. And unfortunately I did lose that clue scroll we had at the end of the last episode. You might notice that it disappeared from the tracker. I'd AFK'd for the best part of an hour while I was just sat sorting something out, and I wasn't paying attention to the timer, so unfortunately that has gone. So we're back down to 0 doable steps again. Hopefully we complete our first clue in 2027, something like that. So we're up to about 500 XP away from 35 cooking. But this kill should get us 42 strength, hell yeah. A nice round 50 combat level. Always nice to see. I think we're going to start. My next kill I might bring a bow and arrow, just try and get some range levels because it's free XP. Although actually, that being said, this will probably get us, along with the potatoes that we've got ready to harvest in there, will probably get us that cooking level, and maybe even the next one after that, by the time we've made all the stews. This patch is ready in just a couple of minutes, and that one's already ready because somehow they fell out sick. Not entirely sure how that's happened. I think it was when I had to cure it, maybe. But we shouldn't have to come back here, actually, now I'm thinking about it. And with that they have grown, so I think I'm actually just going to harvest those, grab this last piece of beef, and we'll get out of here and go and get these all cooked up. And replanting all those potatoes has just given us 11 farm in, so let's get these turned in with the leprechaun into banknotes, and then we will head back into Falador and finish making our stews to get this final construction, get this final cooking level, and then we should, I'd like to check the chunk picker, but I'm pretty sure that's the last task we need to do, and we can roll a new chunk. Just made a quick campfire to get all these beef cooked, so we don't have to run all the way to the castle and back. And we should only need to cook like 2 or 3 stews. I think I might have to buy a few more bowls from the general store, which is the only real headache about doing all of this, to be honest. Just take our coins. And what have we got? So we've got 1 stew ready to go. In fact, this should be enough, to be honest. 4 meat and 5 taters. Let's get these bowls filled up. Make those into incomplete stews. And chuck spuds in. And then hopefully we don't burn more than 2 of these. Otherwise we are going to have to go and get some more bowls. So let's get these cooked up on the range. And of course we immediately burn 1, but we've cooked 1. And another, that gives us 35 cooking. We can now cook pizzas. That's what our chunk task is. So I might as well finish cooking these other 2. And then let's head over to Port Sarim, buy ourselves another pot of flour and a tomato and some cheese, and we'll get this all made up. And then we can get the hell out of this chunk. So we are back over here at the food shop. Let's grab 1 pot of flour, 1 piece of cheese, 1 tomato, and turn the flour into a pizza base. Very carefully use the tomato on the pizza base, and then use the cheese on the pizza. And let's head over to whatever shop this is over here. I thought it was going to drag me out my chunk for a second there. Head over to whatever this building is, and we will go and cook it. Hopefully we don't burn it, that would be annoying. And of course we burn it. Let's just pickpocket this fella for a couple more GP. So let's try this again. Make a pizza base. There we go, and let's go and try and cook this one more time. There we go, and we've cooked a plain pizza, which does actually heal 14 hit points per pizza, so that actually is our new best food that we can get. And that helps us massively because I had to kill some people up there for a little bit of GP to buy this stuff because I'd left all my money in the bank, which is really fun. So we we'll go to pinball random as well, so there's another 5 emeralds to pop in the bank. But before we do that, let's head back into the chunk picker and get ourselves a new chunk. So here we are back in the chunk picker, and we do have a few new chunks that we can roll off the back of this one, because we can get a boat from Port Sarim to this point in Karamja, which won't unlock much, but it'll get us towards Karamja itself. We have Intrana, because the monks are there, and we also have the Pest Control Island, which obviously we will need to roll the actual Pest Control chunk to be able to get a game going. But that could be quite a big grind to unlock everything that we can get there. There is a couple of shops on the island though that could be useful. Other than that, let's just pick a chunk. looks like it is the Goblin Village, so we're going north again. So as far as chunk tasks go, we just have to get 58 thieving to climb over this wall. And it looks like you don't have to have started the Grimtails quest. And we have to start step 1 of Goblin Diplomacy, which we can do now. Let's head back to the game and start ticking these tasks off. So here we are at the edge of our new chunk. And let's get this unlocked. And there we go, now we can head up to the Goblin Village. If we head into this building, we can talk to one of the generals here. And they are arguing about the colours of their armour. And I think it's been a hot minute since I've done this quest, and we just have to offer to pick an armour colour for them. And there we go, we can start Goblin Diplomacy. So that is our chunk task complete, because that's as much as we can do. There we go. So let's head out here. And we'll go work on our thieving. We are starting to look a little bit strapped for GP though, so I might have to come back and pickpocket from these guards. Unless there's something that's going to make me GP. We might go and do a little tiny bit of thieving. So with that out of the way, our only other task is to get ourselves to 51 thieving. So we're back in a very familiar position here in the main square of Chunk-A-Dor, and we're just going to be clicking on guards for the next few hours probably. Not entirely sure how long this is going to take. So I've been at this for quite a few hours now, and we're up to level 46. We've made a decent bit of money so far, but I think this is going to be a good place to call the episode because it's taken a while. We're getting about 8-9k XP an hour, so I am going to crack on with this and hopefully start the next episode with knocking out this chunk task. I just want to say thank you very much for watching, guys. It's really appreciated, and if you've enjoyed the video, please drop a like. And if you want to see more of the series, don't forget to subscribe. And if you drop a comment, I'm sure I can respond to you pretty much immediately because I don't get that many. So if you leave me something nice, I will pop it in the next video. It's been a pleasure having you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye now.